You've been saying during camp that you're going to officially name a starter at some point at QB. Are you ready to do that?
No, not yet. Still not ready. Obviously Ben's gotten a lot of the number ones. He'll continue to do that, and but we're still rotating these guys in, and we'll see. Hopefully by the end of the week, but if not, it may be next week. So I don't know. We're just going to keep these guys competing against each other, and that's a great thing right now.
Why? What is it that's making you? You said maybe Wednesday you would want to make an announcement.
I thought I'm going to see where we are, and we're going to get after it today and see where we're at after today. Maybe tomorrow we'll look at it and see. But I'm really not in a big hurry to do it just yet. I mean, these guys will know exactly, where we're at with things, but I do know this, that there's going to have to be a lot of guys. These guys are going to have to play, and it's not going to be just one quarterback out there. I mean, you got to prepare for the worst in a football season, and part of that is making sure that these guys are ready to play, regardless who was in there. It was kind of the same thing last year when Matt was our starter and Ben got an opportunity to come in and was going to play was going to play the third series of each game. So that's kind of where we're at. So. I maybe look at doing something similar to that, but I don't know yet. We're just still going to talk about it as a staff and go from there.
When you've got a perceived position battle, whether it's quarterback or anywhere else, why name one at all before the first game? Why not let your first opponent worry about all the candidates?
Well, and that's part of it too. I mean, we feel like we got several. Our quarterback, position, we got several dynamic guys that can make, do different things, and so again, we're really at this stage. I don't know, but my thought process behind it is we may not name a starter till actual game day, for that simple reason that you're going to go there for many different avenues and game planning of who's ever's in there.
Is that your same approach at running back as well?
Yeah, so for the most part, obviously Braden is a 1,000-yard rusher coming back, and he had a great year last year, but got Xavier coming back, so you'll definitely see all these guys playing and playing numerous amounts throughout the course of each game.
What do you see in each of the three quarterbacks? Like, what do they each bring to the table?
Well, I think what Ben has. Ben is very confident. Ben has got a lot of game experience behind him, and has got his intelligence, getting us in and out of the protections that we need to get into. Rafe is kind of a combination of both. I mean, he's got the ability to, Ben can run the ball, but Rafe runs the ball well, makes good decisions, throws the ball well. DJ is obviously dynamic in the run game, does some really good things there, and has a strong arm. I think, but his inability of going through spring ball last year is kind of what set him back coming into fall camp. So each one brings a different trait. It's it's about getting out there and executing. That's what it is.
Which players are you expecting to redshirt this season?
Well, we're still working on that. Hopefully to name that by the end of the week. But we got, we know we're going to probably play 3 or 4 freshmen. Obviously the guys that have really stood out defensively, Shane Haley has stood out. I do not anticipate redshirting Shane Haley. Delano Robinson, do not anticipate redshirting Delano. Hayden Howerton's been another one that's been a very pleasant surprise. We would like to redshirt him. I don't know that for a fact. He may be a guy that we travel. Same way with Tyler Page. I would love to redshirt Tyler Page, but I just don't know at this stage where we're at with it. He will definitely travel. We'll try to hold him. Judah Bell's the same way in that regard. So, a lot depends on injuries, how it all works. But right now, Alana Lee's another one, same thing. So, I'd love to redshirt them all, but I don't know.
Numbers have shuffled up your offensive line in the last week or so. How do you expect to adjust to that, and what's the confidence level you and Coach Fry have in that group now?
Man, I tell you what, I'm really excited about that group. That's a group that we feel like we're too deep at, and seeing these guys, rotate two strong groups in there is huge. Obviously, Will Hopkins has been a great addition for our program. Evan Brown, we know what Evan brings to the table. Nick Natura moving to guard has been huge for us. We got to play tackle all of last year. Our left side is really solid with Chad Pursley and Nick Natura, and obviously Evan at center. Right guard right now, we're rotating a lot of different guys in and out of there. Bryce Wild you'll see sometimes in there. When Will Hopkins at tackle, you'll see Bryce at tackle, and being able to just kind of play that one. The right guard position has kind of been the one that we've we've kind of experimented a lot with. So we're just seeing how that works out.
What does having that depth at line give you in terms of options to do with your offense that maybe you couldn't do the last couple of years?
I think the biggest thing it does for us is it creates some competition and allows these guys to push each other, and that's been huge. That's been the most glaring evidence of us in year 3 is just the depth at all positions right now, and seeing that has really been beneficial, especially in our defensive line. We've been really deep there during camp, and I've been very pleased with that. The addition of Demario Mixon has been huge for this football team. Definitely has shown that he's, to this point in time in camp, has shown to be a big time player for us. And Justin Lawler, we know what Justin brings. Demrick Gary being able to play inside and out. Ken McLaurin is a young man that's has come on. He's got to continue to push through. So we'll see.
We saw Mixon in an injury jersey today.
He's coming back. He got bunged up a little bit last week, but he'll be back in full throttle, I believe, tomorrow. He's in green today, so that means he's working out with just no contact.
You mentioned Mixon. You've got him and a couple of JUCOs on the defensive line.
Yeah.
You bring Hopkins in as a transfer. Raymond Epps at tight end.
Yep.
Are any of those positions? Do any of those positions lend themselves to where an athlete can get in and contribute right away faster than some of the others?
Well, and I've said this before. The one thing as a coach, you can't coach experience. And when you got a guy that's graduated, from a college and comes in, and that's something that you really, that's something he's lived it. He's been in that environment before, and as opposed to a true freshman, you want to give your freshman time. The worst thing you do is play a freshman before he's ready, because then you really set him back over an extended period of time. Because what you do is you challenge his confidence at that point. So. What it does, it just allows us to be able to place redshirt some of these young guys, which is huge for us.
All right, you'd like to redshirt those freshmen, but you mentioned Delano Robinson, Shane Haley. They're not the biggest guys in the world. What do you like about them? What stood out to you and the other coaches?
Yeah, they run really well. Their ability to pick our system up quickly. They're physical. So that's been it's evident even when you're talking the offensive side of the ball, when you look at those young guys, and they'll be the first to tell you that, wow, those are the guys that really stand out. Their ability to run to the football and pick up the system. It's one thing to be out there, but when you're able to pick our system up as quickly as these guys have and be able to make plays on the field has been huge.
After Saturday's scrimmage, which position battles do you still see as open?
Well, obviously the quarterback. These guys are battling and pushing each other. The running back's still wide open, but all those guys are going to play. So that's really just whoever opens up the game. But those guys are going to play. We know what Braden West has done, and Braden's obviously a huge player for us, and Xavier Jones. We've got some battles in there at right guard right now. Still battling some at corner with Justin Guy Robinson is a young man we'd love to redshirt. I don't know if we're going to be able to do that. But Eric Sutton is battling there. Christian Davis is battling at that corner position. We got a huge battle going on in safety right now with Elijah McQueen and Mikael Onu. So this is a great problem to have. Let me tell you, three years into this thing, I'm glad I'm talking about this. So I'm excited about it, and these guys are excited. We're glad to be out on the field. Yesterday was the first day of class, so they had the day off. Part of that just life learning lessons as a head coach. You even in high school, man, the first day of class was always the worst practice ever in the history of practices. And so I just it didn't take me long to realize, just don't practice on the first day of class. So we gave our guys the first day of class off. So we're excited to see what the routine will bring in today. So
last one.
Another guy potentially competing. You brought in a JUCO kicker punter. How's he doing, and do you plan to use which spot do you plan to use Robledo at?
Well, we brought him in for kickoffs. We were hoping that we push Josh a little bit and create some competition there, and they've done that. They hadn't been as consistent as I wanted them to in fall camp. So that battle is still being pushed, and we got to continue to put these guys in some tough situations. But they both had their days. Some have been good, some have been really bad. So we got to continue to push these guys and. But again, you go back and you look at Josh. Josh is a young man that's got a lot of game experience, and Kevin has played at Florida State and done transferred out. But so we'll see how that goes, and hopefully by the end of the week we'll have a kicker as well.